Pulse chain.
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 Now, if you don't know who Interpol and Europol are, they're basically intelligence agencies that work with the police and governments around the world. I think Interpol is more international, whereas Europol obviously deals with the European network, probably the EU and other European countries. Now, what they do is they look for Europe's most wanted fugitives, and they have things like this wanted persons lists. And unfortunately, today, appearing on that list is Richard. So Richard James Schuler, Richard Hart, he has appeared on both of these lists. So he's here on this one here, and this is the Interpol one. There's not much details in here, and what they are alleging is aggravated tax fraud and assault. If you have any information, they're saying that. This one goes into detail, so we'll go through this one quickly. Blood on their hands. It says help find those who took lives. I don't think he's taken any lives. Wanted in Finland, Richard James Schuler, and they are saying the crime is fraud, including that affecting the financial interests of the European communities with in the meaning of the Convention of the 26th July 1995 on the protection of European communities' financial interests. Some personal details here: age, date of birth, nationality American, spoken English. Now, this is the state of the case. It does say ongoing investigation here, so I don't know if they have anything concrete whatsoever. So these seem to be allegations, and it was published, as you can see, 18th December. Now, this is 3 days ago, and this is the detail here, this part here. It says, for the purpose, so it's in two parts. First part is for the purpose of avoiding tax. Schuler failed to observe a statutory duty pertaining to the taxation that is of significance in the assessment of tax. Schuler failed to file business tax returns for the tax multiple years, and also failed to complete information on his income on his pre-filled tax personal returns. Schuler received income from his business or income-generating activities that he should have declared to the tax administration for the purpose of tax assessment. The total of tax avoided is counted in hundreds of millions of euros. Wow. So that is a big one they are trying to allege on him. Now, the second part, this might even be more worrying, because this one could, in effect, be some kind of error, you know. But this one here looks a bit more serious. Schuler physically assaulted a 16-year-old victim by grabbing their hair, dragging them into a stairwell, and knocking them to the ground. While the victim was lying on their back on the floor, Schuler punched them 4 or 5 times in the face, nose and eyes, and head area. Schuler caused the victim to suffer pain, broken facial skin, bleeding and swelling to the facial area. In addition, the victim's clothes were covered in blood. Right, so there's seems like 2 pretty serious allegations. I don't think there's any evidence that I've seen about either of these. There's a lot of people talking about this. I haven't seen one piece of evidence, so these are just allegations, so I'm not going to take them too seriously at this stage. But if you do get on this list, people are going to freak out, and you will see that once we go through what has happened to all the Richard Hart tickers. But we should go through this first. Now, Richard put this statement out at the same time all of this news has been coming out. He doesn't address those issues directly, but he just makes a general statement which could relate to that. Now, he says, my whole life I've been preparing for the future, anticipating it, creating it. I've never been safer, and I'm excited for the future. The Honourable Justice in the SEC versus me should have her ruling out soon. Donald Trump will be in office. PulseX, Pulse Chain, Hex Inc. are all functioning wonderfully. This makes some entities mad, but there's nothing they can do about it except be mad. It feels great to be wanted. Oh, so he does kind of acknowledge it there. It feels great to be wanted. Nothing can stop the idea whose time has come. So if that is a reference to what we've just seen, it's very interesting because he doesn't seem too concerned. So maybe these allegations are just some kind of FUD. People are going crazy. Some people are celebrating. Some people are mad. But you can see the impact now on what it is doing to the tickers. Now look at this. These are massive drops we're seeing here. Hex, 51% down. Pulse, PulseX 44% down, Inc 43% down, and then you can see rest of a lot of the other ones here all in the 40s and 50s down. So this is major movements down after this news has come out. So let's just hope that this news is just BS and it goes away, and we'll be looking out for any updates, and if I get any updates I'll let you guys know.